listening to Not My Usual Read, a couples book exchange podcast. I'm Jenny.
And I'm Charlie.
And today we're going to be doing a special mini episode 2024 recap.
Short 2024, yeah.
Yeah.
It's only a couple months, but I figure we might as well do it. Every other booktuber's doing it, so why not jump on the train?
Why not? Yeah,
It'll
we're
be
a little
short.
late too.
It'll be better than next year, but
Yeah.
well, better next year, not better than next year.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely going to have more reads just because at this rate, we're reading like 1 to 2 books every. Oh, no, just kidding. We're reading at
We
least
split
a
them up.
book a week. Sometimes, like, no, just
Every
kidding.
2. I think we're going to try to push to start doing 1 book a week. Now the holidays are over.
Yeah.
I think we can
We're
start.
going to hit it super hard.
Yeah, and we kind of did like a, which we'll kind of share later on, maybe some of our like favorite books that are coming up, but
Yeah.
there's
need to pull
only
that
a
list
couple
up.
that are like long. So
Yeah.
we should be able to start doing 1 a week. We don't have to travel as much. So
On some of the
more time.
special books, we're going to probably split it into 2. If we made a rule, if it's over 500 pages, then we're splitting it into 2.
Yeah.
So just keep that in mind if you're following along and reading along. But other than that,
yeah, just in case something comes out. I don't ever want this to feel like work or a chore.
no, it's a good time.
Yeah.
And we get to do what we love, talk to each other about books and read.
Yeah.
But talk to each other.
Yeah, so like we said at the beginning, this is going to be kind of a recap. We're just going to do our favorite book, our least favorite, maybe a couple little extra things, like, a quick 5-minute review of our favorite book.
Yep.
Maybe like favorite book we'd like to see turn into a movie.
Yep.
Which could be different than the actual favorite book.
Some of these actually have been changed or turned into movies.
Yeah, we were talking about that. Like, I think quite a few of them.
Or shows.
Already
and
are,
some
yeah.
of them sucked. So we'll talk about that a little bit too.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I think we're also going to do a little rundown of kind of what's to come over the next few months.
Yes. So first, I'm going to just run through the books that I've read on the podcast. I did Dark Matter, Heartless Hunter, Zodiac Academy, Watchers, and Salem's Lot. I think Salem's Lot was the only buddy book. And then I've done 2 of my own TBR. So that was Heartless Hunter and Zodiac Academy. Obviously, you could probably tell the ones that I've picked for myself and the one that Charlie's picked for me.
Well, and that will change too. Like the 2025, it's basically going to be a swap and then a buddy every time.
Yeah.
We're not really going to do the TBRs.
No, that was just because we were like wanted to read some of our own books. But
yeah, the holidays.
Dark Matter and The Watchers were the 2 that you recommended, and I honestly really enjoyed both of them. The buddy book was chosen by you, and we'll talk about my favorites in a second. And then Charlie, do you want to share yours? I have them right here.
Yeah, I think I can remember. I know we did Horns, Fourth Wing, Salem's Lot, Butcher and Black, and then All the Pretty Horses.
Yeah, and Salem's Lot.
I said Salem's Lot.
Oh, my bad. Yeah. I wasn't listening.
Yeah.
And you had which 2?
Fourth Wing and Butcher and
Blackbird were the ones that I recommended.
Ones you chose, and now I'm currently. Oh, and we didn't address that either. You were probably expecting this to be The Institute and
Iron Flame,
but we decided to do this because if we waited again, it'd be like the end of January.
Yeah.
So that will be next week, but it'll be basically the full review.
Yeah.
Because now it's been
now
2
we
weeks,
have
basically.
Yeah. Now we have time.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So sorry, we should have mentioned that off the jump. If you're confused, you're probably like, "Where the hell is my book review?"
Yeah. No, you are gonna have to wait, but it's okay because now you get to just hang out with us and recap all of your favorite moments and maybe some of our least favorite moments.
Yeah.
So we're excited to get through it. Okay, so you not only did 2 of my choices, which you adored both of them, I know. Just kidding. But you also did your own TBR, which was Horns and All the Pretty Horses and Salem's Lot, because you got to choose.
Well, I think I don't know if I'd call Horns my TBR. I think I was like already reading it.
Yeah,
and we decided to start this podcast. So.
Same with, what was it? The one with a witch, Heartless Hunter. Yeah.
I did enjoy Horns, but I don't know. It's not on my TBR.
Heartless Hunter was good too, but it wasn't like, it was on my TBR. But TBR is ones that you wanted to read.
No, I know. But I think I went looking for one of his dad's books and I didn't see it. And I was like, oh.
Why not?
Yeah, I've never read any Joe Hill, and Horns is a movie. It's probably pretty good. So
yeah, honestly, so many of these are. And then there's like ones that I'm reading that some of them are going to be shows. So
Right.
That's exciting. Should
Well,
we
do you want
go
to start?
ahead?
Do you want to do favorite book, self-chosen, and then favorite swapped?
Sure. I do have my favorite. I don't have the physical book because I listened to it. But it's Watchers.
Yeah, I used to have that book, but
I think you lent it to
years
somebody.
ago. Yeah, I have no idea where
It's
it is
by
now.
Dean Koontz, and I adored that book. It was with Einstein the dog, and um, I wish I had the physical book so I could like have the cheat sheet of all the characters.
Yeah.
It's only been like 2 weeks, but I'm still trying
Well,
to.
you remember Einstein? He's kind of the main,
Yeah, I'm just trying to. It's Nora
especially if you have a dog.
and
I
what's the
think everyone
guy's
likes the
name?
book.
Wow, really great job, Jenny, doing your homework. Nora, and I'm
Doug,
trying. No, hold on.
Steve,
Can we pause?
Bill. Oh, that's fine. We did the review.
I loved Watchers.
What your favorite self-chosen and the favorite swap?
My favorite self-chosen?
Yeah.
Um,
I guess between Zodiac and then what, the first one you read?
yeah, the Heartless Hunter. Okay, so I know I gave it like a decent amount of, I don't know, hate at the beginning, because I was coming off of my book high from Watchers because it was
Mm-hmm.
so beautiful. But I honestly, I'm listening to the second audiobook for the Zodiac Academy, and it's just like eating junk food. Like it just feels really good, like to listen to it. I don't know why, but I'm
Right.
really into it. So I'm gonna say
Do you
over
think that
over
will
Heartless.
last? Because we'll watch like bad television. It's like after a season we stop. Do you think?
I don't know how long it's gonna last. I just want them once unless I don't get any powers and like I want to stay for their hero arc. I want to stay for their like powerful moment of like awakening because they're still trying to like cope with this new world. It felt like that first book, it was so long, but like it felt like I didn't get a ton of results. So now that I'm in book 2, I'm like still not getting a ton, but it's like world building,
Mm-hmm.
you know? So it just depends on if how long they make me wait. If the authors don't disclose some sort of answers soon,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna be kind of pissed, and now probably will be like, whatever, never mind. But I'm probably gonna endure the second, and then if I'm really into it still, I might just keep going, just on the
Okay.
side. So yeah, that was my favorite self-chosen book. Heartless Hunter was good, but I still haven't read book 2, and that was like forever ago when I did that series. And I don't know, I'm just not like the story was cool. It was just like not a great like the world itself didn't feel like it was like it wasn't very original of an idea. It was kind of like predictable. And then yeah,
Least favorite book? Yeah, go for it.
I already said it, Salem's
Salem's
Lot.
Lot. Yeah.
I wasn't used to the style of the writing, and I don't know. It was a little bit boring. I'm sorry. But I don't regret the read. Like it was my first experience with Salem or with Stephen King. I'm really eager for this book that I'm currently reading, The Institute,
Mm-hmm.
to hopefully change my perspective just because I do think it was because of the style of writing and like the time period that I just was like,
Yeah, it's a bit of an older book.
yeah, it was just hard for me to like really wrap my arms around and like love it. So, yeah. Okay, you go.
Okay. So I guess self-chosen and swap. So, favorite swap book would definitely be Fourth Wing.
Okay, love
I did
it.
enjoy Fourth Wing a lot. Favorite chosen would definitely be All the Pretty Horses. We covered that last week. We finished up that review,
Mhm.
and yeah, really enjoyed that book. Might be my favorite book of the year. I did read a few before this. Reread Dune,
Mhm.
read The Institute, a couple other ones. This one I really like. I've thought about it over the past few days as well since I finished it. Really great, good coming of age story, loss of innocence, just death, mortality.
Beautiful writing.
Yeah, and that's the funny thing is because so he doesn't use punctuation, quotes, things like that. So I read a little bit further into it, and I guess in college he like basically had to shorthand a bunch of essays. So he
Yeah.
started like kind of doing this certain style where he would like get rid of commas, just do like important things. And the teacher loved it. And he was like, you should just keep doing that, keep writing like that. And that's
Yeah.
kind of where it came from. And at first I did not really jive with it. I found it kind of confusing. And then towards the end, I really liked it. beautiful book. Can't wait to read more.
Yeah, I'm glad.
Love it. And then even Fourth Wing, Fourth Wing's probably, well, I don't know. I did read The Blade itself, which is really good fantasy. It'd probably be behind that. Yeah. So it's probably like top 3 in my book this year, maybe 2, but
Yeah.
The Blade itself is really good. That's the first Law trilogy, which I'm kind of getting off.
Yeah, and
I
I
haven't
think
read that, but
for you it
I really
probably
liked the first one.
was it also because of like the age, like the genre of age. I mean, it's NA, so new adult, which is like kind of aimed towards people in their mid
I
20s.
don't think that really bothered me that much.
No, did it feel like immature sometimes with all like the lust,
I wouldn't say the lust, just like
the
I don't know.
yearning?
Yeah, and just like even she said it because I know we disagreed. Like Xaden kind of kept those secrets from her,
Mm-hmm.
and she was like, "I can't trust him anymore." And then even like in this second book, she's still mad about it. And even Taryn's like, "Get over it. Like he couldn't tell you. Like
Yeah.
you know your brain. He couldn't." She's like, "Yeah, but my heart." And I'm like, "Okay." Like it's just like that. It's just like young love, and when you're like 20 and you think you just like know everything and everything about love, and then you're like, I mean, I'm only 35, but I'm just like, oh my god, like, just get over it.
Yeah.
Like you still love him, just stop.
Yeah, just
you know,
choose your battles, babe. Yeah.
Like you have to understand where he's coming from, but
Sure. I mean, I think she'll get past it.
Oh, I'm sure. I mean, what's book 2 gonna be about if it isn't the love of Xaden and Violet?
So you have a least favorite chosen by me.
Yeah, I don't think that'd be too hard if you've kept up. Butcher and Blackbird.
What?
Did not like.
Was it just because of the sex?
No, I don't. Like, I'm not some big prude. It's just like,
I'm just joking.
Man, it just, and we've seen other people. We watched that booktuber today, and she gave it a 4, and I just like don't get it because I thought the writing was not good.
Yeah.
It just felt, and it kind of makes sense. Like I feel like it's in that like rom-com book category, and it's kind of like Gilmore Girls, Friends, like these like sitcom shows. They're like very like snappy and witty, but it doesn't really work that well in a book because it's like,
is it like reading a text message
like that in real life?
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So it was just like this, like it's like no one talks like this in real life.
I guess because I listened to the audiobook for Butcher and Blackbird, I got like a tone. Like I heard the person talking.
Yeah.
And the tone of the narrator and the actual character herself was so snarky and like kind of funny.
Mm-hmm.
So I really enjoyed that. But I guess if you didn't read it in a certain tone in your head,
I don't know. Yeah,
or maybe if you just think that characters like that are kind of annoying, then
I thought they were both kind of annoying. Yeah, and then she was like suspense every time they were about to kill someone. I was on the edge of my seat, and I'm like, I knew they weren't gonna die.
Oh, jeez.
Like I knew that there was no way.
Well,
that
they might
kill
have.
one of them.
No. Okay. Well, that's fine. You don't have to like it, but I'm not gonna stop recommending things that are weird.
Fun to read it. Like there was some like couple funny parts that I laughed at. I'm not gonna say like I absolutely hated every second of it, but
yeah.
I agree with her. I don't know if I'd recommend to someone unless I knew their spice level, or whatever the jalapeno level.
2 chapters
it's like
full of sex.
Yeah, it's like 30-40 pages of like pretty in-depth, intense sex scenes. Yeah. You re-listened to it with me, and even you were like, "Oh my god!"
Well, it was just I forgot. I forgot, and I was just like, "Oh."
Yeah, like compared to the Fourth Wing sex scenes, like this is tame.
Yeah. Well, just wait, because I don't know.
Oh, just wait. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's. Yeah. I think that covers my stuff. Yeah.
I think so too.
I mean, who has better taste, Jennifer?
Well, okay. So I have liked both of the books you chose for me.
Yep.
I really liked Dark Matter. I thought it was so cool. I like sci-fi, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I think that's something that I'm realizing. I already knew I like sci-fi movies. I just have not really exposed myself to sci-fi books.
Yeah.
So Dark Matter was so cool. I liked the idea of it. It was really cool plot idea. And
and I would say that's kind of like a good jumping off point, because some sci-fi books where it's like the world building and it's just like, especially my first time reading Dune.
Yeah. Well, I tried listening to Dune.
Like, there's so like they don't hold your hand at all. There's so many words that you're just like, I don't know what that is.
Yeah. Right.
So
no, I know. And I got to like chapter 7 in Dune.
Mm-hmm.
I think like I got pretty far in, and I was just like, I'm exhausted. Like I don't understand fully. I would love to try that one again. But no, I really like sci-fi in general now so far.
Yeah, they're my two favorites, sci-fi and fantasy.
Dark Matter was great, and then also The Watchers, which honestly I think it's going to be one of my top books of the year. I mean, I've read a lot of books this year, and I thought it was just really beautiful. Like, it made me cry a couple of times. I was so invested in the characters, and they were just like woven together in such a beautiful way. I really loved the way they were presented as separate entities, and then they all came together. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna say you win, but it's only been like 7 books. Or no, it's only been 2 swaps and 1 buddy.
Yeah, we'll have more to talk about because I think our next one we've basically planned out till April.
We've got lots of books planned, on the stack. Yeah, so I'm really excited to hopefully reclaim that title of who has the best taste. But as of right now, Charlie's winning by 1 book. What an accomplishment. Not to be snarky. But anyways, okay.
Well, and yeah, so I mean, I don't really have anything to add to that because, I won. What was the biggest twist in one of your books so far? I guess which book had the biggest twist to you?
Okay, so whenever Justin, I hope I'm not getting the like it's been I love Jason. I knew it started with a J. Okay.
Jason.
Yes. It's Jason Desson, yes. Yeah. When he is, if you haven't listened, you guys, go back and listen to this episode. It was great. I really enjoyed this book, but
yeah, which I don't remember what the title was, but I think it's like episode 2, right?
Yeah, it was pretty early on.
Funny name titles, so we can't.
I think it was like chapter 2 or 3.
Should be chapter 2.
So in Dark Matter, he is trying to get back to his own dimension because Jason 1, or he's Jason 1. Jason 2, basically this alter ego took over his life and drugged him and sent him through this box that can take you through dimensions and put him in his world where he built this machine to jump from dimension to dimension. Yes. Yeah. So basically the biggest twist was at almost towards the end, whenever Jason 1 finally gets back to his own dimension where his lovely wife and son are, this like whole thing he's been trying to work towards the whole time. Whenever he gets back, and then there's all these other Jasons that also made it. So basically in this alternate reality of dimension jumping, because there was all these boxes that got opened when they were all looking for their reality, there's basically like multiple Jasons. It was a little confusing, I'm not gonna lie. It was really it kind of blew my mind for a second. I was just like, oh my god. Also, this is a huge spoiler, the author Blake Crouch killed his wife in the other dimension.
Oh, Danielle.
Yeah, I was not expecting that. Just immediate murder. I was just, I cried right then and there. There was a lot of just complete 0 to 100 moments. So I thought that this one had the biggest twist for me. Okay, you go ahead and tell me.
So I think my biggest twist this year, All the Pretty Horses didn't really have any twists, so it'd probably be Earthwing. Brennan coming back, because I know I read the last page, but I was I think I kind of convinced myself that it was like a past memory or something, because she does kind of flashback and talk about him. So
yeah, there was a couple of flashbacks with Brennan prior to the reveal that he survived.
Yeah, and then the other would probably be the Venom being real and the Wyverns, all that stuff, like because it was just in that book that her dad gave her.
Yeah.
That was a big twist. Like I saw the Griffins coming. Well, kind of. I was like, there's probably going to be something with them where they're good or
he kept sneaking out with all of the other marked people.
Yeah.
So I think that there was like, that's an easy speculation, but the Wyverns was kind of like a bang.
Yeah, and that is kind of leads into our next subject, which is pet peeves, is that it happened so quickly, the ending.
Yeah.
Everything was just like boom, 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 Brendan, and then it's just over, and it's like, what the hell?
Well, like the cliffhangers, I think is what you don't like.
Yeah,
but that's a huge thing in fantasy series because it's a series. Like we've got all these books that go back to back, and I think that it's a pretty common thing to like kind of keep you hooked for the next book, but it's very frustrating because it leaves you in suspense for a whole freaking year. So just count your blessings, dude, because
Yeah. Well, that's why like
you're reading Iron Flame right now and you don't even know.
yeah. So like I do have a pet peeve that's kind of like things happening too quickly.
Mm-hmm.
I know you with cliffhangers, and yeah, like I'm kind of spoiled because I basically get to read these 2 books, and then the third one comes out. We don't know if this is the last one, if she's going to really milk it. There's going to be like a whole
There has been so much
series.
speculation online. Everybody's preparing for the worst. She's been giving all these like little clues on her Instagram. I don't know, just
Right. Brace
something
yourself.
devastating might happen.
This is going to be 10 books.
No, it's just we're all worried that she's gonna kill somebody important, you know?
She should.
No, she should not.
Well, it's not going to be Violet or Xaden, because if one of them dies, the other dies.
Yeah,
And if that happens, what's the other? If she makes more books, what are they going to be about? You know.
maybe. Yeah. Okay, so
yeah, let's get on. So our
my
next
pet
subject
peeve-
is pet peeves.
No, yeah,
we
my pet
talked
peeve.
about them a little bit. What are some more of yours?
I absolutely despise a love triangle. I hate it. Anytime. Well, and like I don't mind like a little bit of a competition, but like okay, there was this book I read.
Have you ever tried a love triangle though? Maybe you just need to experience one.
Good. No,
Okay.
thank you. That would stress me out. No, I read this book. So anybody that reads fantasy romance might have checked this out. It's really big. Powerless is a book that came out last year, and I read it at the beginning of the year. It has 2 brothers and this one girl, and I love the premise of that book, but that part pissed me off so much I have not continued reading that series because of the love triangle. Cuz like one minute
okay.
she's like into this one guy and then the next she's into the other, and I'm just like there's a lot of books like that, and it angers me, and I'm like I don't know.
I think I know one of your pet peeves, and that would be too much description. I think that's what you did not like about Salem's Lot.
No, I like description. He
No,
waxed
too much description.
But he like waxed poetically, and not all of it felt necessary. I think that sometimes whenever you get to the point where you're like describing rocks, like that's just like too much.
Whoa, we probably have a lot of people that like rocks that listen to this.
I love rocks.
How dare you?
I'm just saying, if it feels like it's unnecessary, then I don't need to waste a whole
I get that.
15 pages. I mean, it wasn't 15 pages, but it just felt like, come on, get to it.
I'm used to it. Like I do agree sometimes he goes in too much. I tend to like it. I mean, he kind of fits into another one of mine, which is like a book starts awesome but ends poorly.
Yeah.
Because he's pretty well known for like kind of botching endings sometimes. I don't know. Yeah, I feel like he doesn't know how to finish a book.
Yeah.
He does do like I thought Salem's Lot was a fine ending. I thought The Shining had a good ending. I'm trying to think back to some other ones.
The Gunslinger.
Well, I didn't finish. That's 7 books. I could not get past Wizard and Glass, which is the 4th book. So boring. I'm trying to think. The Green Mile, I thought had a good ending.
Well, yeah, I'm excited about
I just know there's some Dreamcatcher has like a famously just horrible ending, and like people really like the book in the beginning, and then the ending is just it's like Aliens. It's like the easy way out, basically.
Yeah.
You know.
So it was just kind of predictable.
Yeah, just kind of predictable.
Yeah, I feel like when you put in so much work and then you get a little bit you get finally over that precipice of the hill, and then it's like a huge letdown. It's
just like, what?
I think for me, that's something that I'm struggling with sometimes, because not all fantasy authors do it, but a lot of them do wait until the very last chapter, and then all this happens, and you're just like, cool, now I hope the other book's out because I don't want to wait a freaking year. But like Zodiac Academy, I got basically nowhere. I didn't get a whole lot of information. It just like, built the world, and I'm really.
It's like we're done.
And now it's like, cool. Now let me read a whole nother book. Yeah. But I mean, don't get me wrong, I like it. I don't not like that, but
Butcher
it's
and
a
Blackbird
little bit.
Was the same. Like the ending was so dumb.
Yeah.
They just like ended up together, and that's it. Like, of course.
You're like, cool. I could have guessed.
Yeah.
But
what, they got married? No
what?
way.
No.
Oh my god.
But did you see that murder part coming? Possibly. Probably so. Okay.
Okay, so we got one more little category before we do our 2025 preview. What about best book to movie? Although most of our books are movies
or shows.
or shows, and we talked about this earlier as well.
Mm-hmm.
I think books should always be series. I think books to movies, the movies always kind of suck.
TV shows.
Yeah, I think you have to do a series, and it can be a mini series, a full series.
Otherwise, it doesn't do it
I'm
justice.
trying to think of well, I'd love No Country for Old Men, but I haven't read the book, so I'm like, I don't know. Is the book just gonna just knock my socks off so much more than the movie does? It's a great movie, so I don't know.
Yeah,
but yeah, I think they should be series. And
things just get left out unless it's a television show, which honestly sometimes even then they change it. So
they don't hire the right director.
This is already a show. Dark Matter's already a show. Salem's Lot is not a movie.
There's a couple. They're both terrible.
They're both bad. Okay.
Yeah.
And then Zodiac Academy
Orange is
a
movie.
too new.
It's got Harry Potter in it. All the Pretty Horses is a movie. It's supposed to be bad, so it's like really.
Butcher and Blackbird. I'm good.
Yeah, I don't want to see any of that.
Well, it would just be like, I don't even know how you'd make that. A lot of the spicy good stuff would be like have to be left out.
So Fourth Wing is
is what I'm so excited. Series. So I've followed this Instagram account where this person gets AI animated scenes with the main character, like what would this main character look like, and like their dragon, or like Violet going across the parapet, and it's just so epic, and like the music behind it, I'm like, oh my god, this needs to be a show. And we were talking about, how would they do the dragons, and it made me think of Game of Thrones. They did those dragons.
If you can get people that do good CGI, you can kind of do anything.
Exactly.
Nowadays.
I just hope.
Most movies are CGI now.
So don't we know? I think Fourth Wing has been picked up.
I think by Amazon, yeah.
I really hope, because Amazon usually has a pretty decent. They can, but see if they will.
Because I know they did Wheel of Time, which is like a big fantasy sprawling epic, and most people didn't like it. So
I don't even know what that is.
I think Brandon Sanderson did Wheel of Time. So the books are supposed to be incredible. They're like a lot of books, but
yeah, I'm just hopeful.
I think Salem's Lot could be done well. I think that'd be a good miniseries.
Sure.
Could be creepy. I know you don't like it. I think it'd be a good series.
No, like the story itself was just very classic
good
vampire.
Actors with the towns.
Yeah.
Make the vampires really scary.
Yeah, I think that Fourth Wing would just be like the most exciting. And I also really like the story.
Mm-hmm.
It's got everything. It's got action. It's got romance. It's got fantasy.
It's basically Game of Thrones.
But like different.
Teens.
It's not teens.
Angsty 20-year-olds.
Yeah. It's like college, not teens.
Okay, so we're kind of in agreement. We think Fourth Wing, but that's only because pretty much everything else is already. We need to watch Dark Matter.
I know, right? I need to check out that show.
Good. It's on Apple.
Got it. Okay, so we are at the end of 2024. Obviously, that's past. Now we're in 2025, and we've got so many books lined up. We spent some time today, building a set list.
Hour and a half, 2 hours of just week by week.
Yeah.
Which books we want to read, what we're going to swap.
Yeah, I mean,
buddy books.
Now that's not to say that we couldn't change our minds if we got some recommendations from our listeners.
If they'd leave comments.
I know, right? But we are really excited about the lineup. There are some that are like some of our favorite reads, and I'm just so excited. There's also some books that we've been looking forward to reading that are on our buddy exchange.
Pretty much, we have it planned out till about mid to end of April.
So there's so many books we're gonna get.
And after that, we're thinking about taking a break from swapping and buddy, and maybe just do some of our TBRs, but still podcasting. We haven't decided if we're gonna
take a break,
take a month break and just read, or read our own stuff, but also kind of keep recording. So.
But I think that after 3 months of reading each other's reads and a buddy book, I think it's gonna be a really nice little gift to ourselves to read some
take
books.
Some time off, read some books. I think we should still do the show.
Absolutely, I think so too.
Unless we're totally exhausted, but
yeah, we'll let you know.
We'll see. Why don't you tell me?
Okay, so I'm really excited for the Bridge Kingdom. It's a series I really like. It's only got 2 books.
You already read it, didn't you?
Yeah, I'm excited for you to read it.
For me to read it.
Yeah, I don't read a whole lot of books that are only a couple or standalone. A lot of them have at least one other book. This book is only a 2-book series. So the Bridge Kingdom and then the Traitor Queen. I'm so excited because you're going to be reading 2 of those. And then we are also going to be reading Onyx Storm in about 2 weeks. We're going to do that for our buddy book. And we're going to have a special guest read it with us
for the second half of it. But
yeah,
I'm excited. I like Iron Flame so far.
Yeah.
I'm not super far into it, but I would, I like the first one. I like this one. I'm interested enough to see where it goes. I think it's a good book.
Yeah, I'm really excited for you to get to the ending of this because, like I said, things happen. Big things happen in this book. And I've been in suspense like all of the other readers that are like in love with this series. And I
get to finish it and then basically start the next one.
I know. I'm really excited for you, but I'm also a little jealous. Yeah, I'm so stoked about Onyx Storm. And then I guess one other one that I'm really excited about. Well, there's two. I've been wanting to read this book called The Spell Shop for a while. I've seen it on a lot of people's best of 2024 lists. It's supposed to be a really beautiful book. It's very magical, whimsical.
Takes a village to open a heart and one man to steal it.
I mean, oh my. I also think it's a novel, so it's just one book, which I'm so excited about. A fantasy book that's just one.
Yeah, series can just get kind of exhausting.
Well, I love it. Don't get me wrong. I genuinely, once you're in it and you're in the world that they built after book one, it's just like, okay.
I know, but sometimes it's intimidating because it's like, that's why I haven't started Game of Thrones. I don't know.
Who has the time? No.
Well, it's just so much. And he might not even finish the last book. So it's like, do I really want to invest?
Knowing how you felt about the Gunslinger series too with Stephen King, you said that you stopped reading after book 4. I'm gonna
go back and do it because
the
other book's supposed to be great. I loved so The Drawing of the Three is book 2, and then The Wasteland is book 3. And The Wasteland is awesome. It has one of like the best battles ever.
Well, that's just kind of the chance you take though when you're reading a big series or saga like that. Like whenever I was younger, I read this book called Delirium, which was my favorite book when I was growing up, like my favorite romance. Mm-hmm. And book 3 broke my heart. And guess what there was? Can you guess what made me not want to read it?
Oh, baby.
No. What ick was my biggest ick?
Oh, love triangle?
Yes, and I was so pissed and I never finished the series. And so I need to go back and redeem it. But like I get that. It's an investment of time. But
well, yeah, I just need to go because it's like, so you come off book 3, which is The Wasteland, and it ends with just like this epic battle. Mm-hmm. And then book 4, it's like, here's 800 pages about him as a kid. And I'm like, I don't want to read this.
Yeah. That's when
Take me back to where I was.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is ridiculous.
But yeah, so obviously I want to read The Spell Shop. And then last but not least, I'm so excited about February for romantic Valentine's Day time. You are going to read one of the Twisted books. I think I'm going to have you read Twisted Love, which is the first one, but they're standalone. I mean, they're in all the same world. Like the couples are best friends. So like you'll see them. Right. But I loved that book and I'm so excited for you to read it. And you're probably going to be reading at least one other one at some point in the future. Okay. But they don't all have to go at the same time.
Okay. Well, yeah, for me, I'm reading Iron Flame right now. I am excited for Onyx Storm as well. I'm excited for The Ministry of Time, which you got back here for Christmas. We've been talking about that one. That's going to be a buddy book. I'm also excited for Assistant to the Villain.
Yes, such a good
That's
one.
A swap, but I'm excited to read that one because I've heard good things about it. And then some books of my own, I am also excited for Before They Are Hanged and Last Argument of Kings.
Yeah.
That's book 2 and 3 in the First Law trilogy. I read the first one. I loved it. Jenny's going to read the first one before we start the second one.
Yeah, I'm really excited because I remember when you started that book and I read like the first 2 chapters and I was pretty excited. I think I just had started another series and I was like book 3. So I just kind of let it fall to the wayside. So I'm excited to try it.
I think you'll enjoy it. And if you end up hating it, I guess we will be curating this list a little bit and changing some things around. But we have some other books on deck we can swap out.
I'm really excited to try one of your fantasy books.
Yeah, I think it's great. I think the first one's really like great world building, great story, great characters.
Yeah, and then we're also going to be starting at the very end another
since it is
series.
Such a huge book, and neither of us have ever read any Brandon Sanderson, and we've been kind of talking about it, so we're going to start probably a terrible idea. But his series, Stormlight Chronicles or Stormlight Archives, The Way of Kings, and each of these books is like 1,000 pages. So
Bit of
we're
an
going to be,
undertaking.
I think we're going to kind of end our little season with that. It might even be a 3-parter because it is a long,
We'll see.
book, but we'll see. I'm excited for that. And then kind of during our break, I've already kind of jotted down some books I want to read. Jurassic Park by Michael Crichton, I think it is. It's supposed to be awesome sci-fi book. 11/22/63, one of Stephen King's better books. I haven't read it. And The Emperor's Soul, which is another Brandon Sanderson standalone book.
Yeah.
A lot of people say to start with that one because it's really good. Kind of introduces you to his writing style. So, but The Way of Kings, I've heard nothing but incredible things about. So I am excited for that. And I have to wait till April to get to it. But
honestly,
we got a lot of good books coming before that.
I mean, the break is going to be fun for like me to just soak up whatever I'm currently obsessed with. But I'm reading the Zodiac Academy. I do multiple books at once.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, I'm doing the Institute, but I'm also continuing the series. I am probably going to wait until then to do Scythe, which I'm pretty excited about. It's such a cool looking book. I also really want to start Lightlark, which I've heard mixed reviews, but I already own the book, so I'm going to read it. So yeah, we're going to get into a bunch of things towards the end, but we have so much to look forward to at the beginning of 2025. So I'm really excited. If you just started listening, please go back and listen to some of the other ones that we've talked about.
Yeah.
We've got a lot of really cool books that we've already read in 2024. But there's just so much more to come. So we're glad you're here, you guys, and we can't wait to continue.
Yeah, we think we planned a pretty good list for the coming months.
Yeah.
Videos now, so hopefully this is just getting better than when we started.
We've had to redo videos multiple times because we're still like learning the technology, but
we had to redo this video, but I don't think that was our fault. For some reason it just stopped recording.
Well, our very first video was like I loved that episode. We recorded like an hour and like had the video, and then my mic just ended up not being on. So
our mic cut off.
So our tech, we're getting better,
couldn't use
but
it.
like there's times when it's so infuriating.
Yeah,
but it's fine. We're rolling with the punches. Today's been fun talking about books.
Yeah, it's
always a good sometimes. Time. Yeah.
But I think this will end our little recap here.
Yeah, check us out on YouTube because we're going to be starting one of those.
Yep, probably going to start pumping some vids out. So I think for our earlier episodes we talked, and I think we're just going to put our logo. Sorry, we don't have videos of the early ones, but from here on out we should have a video that goes along with each.
Yeah.
I might even look into, if you're on Spotify, I know they do video with the audio.
Yeah.
Because I know some podcasts do that, so I'll probably put it there. We can put it on YouTube. But yeah, just check us out. We go to Instagram and Not My Usual Read.
Yep. And
Jenny does memes there. We're going to start doing
little clips
from our videos, all that fun stuff. I think that's it.
Yeah, check us out on Spotify, iHeartRadio, or Apple Podcasts. Anywhere that you're listening. Click follow, click like. So we're going to be reading.
So next week we will be doing our full review of Iron Flame and the Institute. That's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
So that won't be a 2-parter. We'll just have one kind of. It might be a little bit longer, but
I'm so excited. I'm really hoping that I like this Stephen King book. I mean, he's super famous. I know he's one of your favorite authors, and I like some of the movies that he the stories that he's made.
The Institute's a lot of fun.
Okay, well, I'm excited, especially because it's like, powers.
Yep.
Children.
Kids' powers. It's more modern day.
Yeah, I think it'll be really cool. It's like very recently written, so yeah, I'm excited. And then Iron Flame, I'm just so excited for you to.
And then Onyx Thorn.
I've been like trying to bite my tongue because I can't remember what happened at the end of Fourth Wing and then in Iron Flame. And so I'm just like, oh God, I hope I didn't just spoil something. So I can't really talk to you about it yet because I don't want to spoil it.
Well, here soon we'll be on an even playing field, all caught up.
Yes, I cannot wait. Okay. Well, happy reading. We'll see you next time.
Talk to you guys later.
Bye.